Welcome, everybody. Welcome back. And actually, for those of you just joining DEFCON, welcome to the show. My name is Omar Santos, and of course, I don't have to even introduce Stock here and ceddoXx, as well as Ron. And once again, thank you so much for your support. You have been amazing. Yesterday was an amazing event, and we're just getting started. It's amazing. So with that said, I'll pass it back to ceddoXx for some opening remarks.
Yeah, thank you, Omar. Appreciate that. So welcome everybody to our day 2 and DEFCON's day 1 of DEFCON 28. 28 years of DEFCON, isn't that crazy? Nonstop, even the pandemic can't stop us. So the Red Team Village, our mission is to bring knowledge and a wealth of classes and training to the masses. We're able to do that this year because of the virtual platforms that everybody's using. Right now, with the pandemic, it has allowed us to reach parts of the world that have never been allowed to or have never had the opportunity to attend DEFCON. Now, the bar has been set, pretty even where everybody has access to the same content. So I suggest that if you have friends and relatives and co-workers, you invite them to attend this training. Like 99% of all of the DEFCON training is free. 100% of the Red Team Villages training is free. And we owe that to our sponsors. I want to thank our sponsors. Without them, that we would not be able to put this on. That is Talos, Cisco. I'm sorry, I don't have my list up right now, but I know. So one of them is Cisco. One of them is who else do we have? Omar, I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank here.
Sim, Cisco, Randori, Devo,
yeah, Randori,
Devo,
and Hack the Box,
eLearn Security,
and eLearn Security. So we could never pull this off without them. So I want to thank them personally, as well as we have probably about a good 40 other companies, SANS, Point3, eLearn Security. We mentioned 0 Point Security, Pentester Labs, and Hacker Boxes, NordVPN, Insecurity, No Starch Press, Hack5, Offensive Security, and of course the Red Team Village. We're giving away some cool backpacks to the winning team of the CTF. And even classes that cost thousands of dollars. So we have over $75,000 worth of prizes that we're giving away over the next 4 days. So please, if you haven't seen the CTF or joined the CTF, consider doing so. So we've got a lot of stuff happening. I'll just mention a few things real quick. One of the top things is the CTF. It is a Red Team specific CTF. The finals are ending. The pre-quals are ending today, and 20 teams from the pre-quals will move on to the finals. The finals are competing in a one-of-a-kind Red Team specific MITRE and Atomic Red Team framework attack system. So this has never been done before. This one's targeted right at the Red Teams. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for Red Teamers, and I think they'll be able to learn a lot as they go through all the challenges. The other thing is we have trainings and registration is on a couple of the classes that are still open. Most of the trainings are full. Our briefing schedule is completely packed, over 85 hours that started yesterday and will continue through today, tomorrow, and Sunday. There's a esports cyber wraith tournament that the winners, the top scorers from that, end up going on to having an opportunity to interview with some of the biggest companies in tech. And Omar's showing that right now on the screen. And then we have our virtual workstations. Last year we did 5 stations that were there at DEFCON Live. Everything from introduction to red teaming all the way up to exploit development. So they're listed here. If you did not receive an email on those yesterday, you should have one in your inbox. Check your spam. We let everybody know about that. And finally, that's part of our 2 to 4 hour training sessions. And then finally, I want to hand it over to Omar and Stock to welcome everybody.
Absolutely, and thank you, ceddoXx. And basically, what I want to do right now is going over a few highlights of what happened yesterday that you went over. A couple of updates related to the CTF. And by the way, as Joseph mentioned, like super quick, we're giving away $75,000 worth of stuff, right? And you went pretty fast, but it's a big thing, right? I mean, there are things that we know in many cases, some of the participants will never have access to, and especially, complete packages from training to all the way to certifications, and a bunch of, swag and, and many other things, but it's over $75,000. And once again, thank you, sponsors. And I was actually trying to get off mute whenever you were talking about the sponsors, but I guess it was too late.
Yeah, sorry about that. I drew a blank all of a sudden for some reason.
Yeah, the CTF is amazing. I mean, it's driving so much traffic and so many conversations right now. And by the way, if you have not joined the Discord, please do so. That's where the conversations is happening. Last night we even have people, doing gamings. There's many different, subgroups within the community that they're making a lot of different type of events, like, even at night, really late at night, because I was up until 4:30 in the morning. There were so many, people actually trying to hack stuff, trying to, play new games, or even creating new tools. I saw a couple of chats on where people literally were coding and trying to create some tools. Now, we said that without, any further ado, I'm going to pass it real quick to Ron. He's going to talk a little bit about the logistics on training, specifically the trainings that are 2 to 4 hours, right? So I want to make sure that everybody understands, we actually have a lot of things going on. The stations are 30 minutes. They're repeated every hour or so, right? And they're hands-on stations. And then there's formal training. And whenever I say formal, that means a little bit longer training, where you also going to have some type of hands-on activity. So with that said, Ron, take it away.
Yeah, really quick, I just want to say this is by far my favorite part about DEFCON, the knowledge transfer, the folks in this industry that are willing to jump in and offer training, high-level training that for free. I mean, it's amazing the way that folks give back at DEFCON every year, and the fact that we're able to provide these here at the Village, I'm excited about. So the trainings that Omar mentioned, basically, you had to sign up for them. So unfortunately, they are sold out. But if you did get a chance to sign up for them, you should have got an email with a link to access the training stream, and then all of the communications with the trainers are going to be done through Discord. So just make sure you get back to Discord if you're having any trouble, if you're not sure, you have questions, go to Discord, go to the training channels, and ask your questions there. But just want to say again, thank you to all the trainers that signed up for this. It's a great thing. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely. We have some of the leading people that have developed tools and tactics and techniques that are giving training. So take a look at the trainings and let the trainer know that you really appreciate them giving their time and doing these classes for free.
Yeah, and kind of behind the scenes, whenever we posted the trainings, the registration for the trainings, some of them exceed 1,000 people so it's not like 2 or 3 people, and they were sold out within 3 minutes. So it was pretty amazing, right? Now, the other thing, again, for all the trainers and the people that are supporting the community, thank you. So, Stock, what was your best or your favorite things yesterday, since we kicked off DEFCON a little bit earlier yesterday?
Seriously, though, yesterday was just so amazing. There were so many cool talks that just came through. And even though I've seen Jason Haddock's talk before, it never stops to amaze me the way that he just adds on all these new tool sets. So I would say that was definitely one of my favorites. I didn't stay up all night, though, because it was quite late when it kicked off for me. So I'm going to do some of the reruns later on. but I did see a few talks, and I would say that definitely, yeah, Jason's talks is definitely one of my favorites, primarily because it's so vast and it's such a good framework for somebody that's want to start in AppSec. If you want to start doing application pen testing, hey, you just follow that methodology and then create your own. And from there, hey, it's a good run. It's a good beginner's guide to offensive security when it comes to AppSec. But we got today, right? Today is the day when we got some more stuff coming on, and I'm primarily really psyched about, stoked actually about Nahamsek's talk that's going to be later on. It doesn't seem like much when you read the title, like knock knock, who's there? Identify assets in the cloud. But what Nahamsek and Statiflow has managed to do is to, at large, scale, find huge amount of subdomains and fingerprint those in seconds. And it's so impressive how fast they're making that it's changing the way you approach things. It's like, it's going to be really cool. 1 hour, I get goosebumps just thinking about it. That's really cool. And then one talk that you, Omar, told me about is that Chris is going to get on. And even though the title says red teaming born from the hacker community, that just, my heart just melts, because what he's going to talk about is how he started out, like how he begun back in the days where all this information wasn't available. Like in the beginning, I know you told me, Omar, in the beginning, you guys had to borrow like blankets and these covers from the hotel rooms just to get that projectors to get up in the right way, because it's a DIY experience. And today we're having this really amazingly cool online streaming things with cool light setup and sound. Big difference. And what Chris is going to talk about is, as far as I can say, is how they began and how they from the cult of the
Dead cow.
Yeah. And how they began to just slowly, like in the beginning, to where they are at now. And most of us right now, we're old folks. Yeah. Hey. And, but we are in positions and really cool places because we started with hacking. And hacking is something that just keeps us all together. That's why we go to DEFCON, to meet friends and hang out and just nerd out and hack together and just have a good time, because that's what's driving us. And the title hacker isn't the certification. That's something you wake up one morning and say, God damn, I feel like taking things apart and asking the question why. I'm a hacker. And that's all it takes. It's a mindset. The day you decide to be a hacker, you're a hacker. And then it sticks with you for the rest of your life. Either you want it or not. That's just how it is. It's a mindset. And I'm really amazed how that works. And now we're doing these trainings. We're doing all this free content that's really globally removing gatekeeping. And just getting new fresh blood in, people getting in, because the amount of code that's being dropped, the amount of IoT devices that's being released, somebody needs to hack them, right? And that's what we do.
Right.
Exactly. I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
Actually, you touched on something really important. Again, I want to capitalize on that training part, because some of the trainings that we have right now, not only they are delivered by the people that created the tools that they're going to be, talking about, like AMAS.
Jeff Foley. Yeah, Jeff Foley's teaching that.
Some of these trainings, you pay in some cases for $3,000, $5,000 for them, and it's completely free right now, right? And it's amazing, right? And another thing that you mentioned about the community and getting started, it is also giving me goosebumps, right? Because I'm thinking back in the day, and probably Joseph, can relate and run as well. Whenever we started, it was basically conversations in hallways, and now I see some of the folks in the industry, and these are the folks that actually are leading some of the big companies and so on, right? And it's not that so much of, hey, we went and saw a presentation. If not, they became friends, they became part of the community, and they become leaders in the industry, right? So it's pretty amazing. Yeah.
And it's so amazing that possibility is given. It's and today when we're talking about hacking and the possibilities to actually, you can you can actually just buy an IoT device, right? And if they have a bounty program or a disclosure program, you can hack that and you can send that CV in without any repercussion. It's not says verity void if broken. You can just because we need to learn that. We need to understand it. Because
we need to break it.
Yeah, we need to, because otherwise his grandma is going to put that on the internet and then it's going to be a part of a huge botnet, which is cool. But then again, that's not, we need to protect the people that aren't able to solve this on their own.
Agree.
That's right.
And as a matter of fact, we have some talks later today where we're going to talk about that how this industry has evolved, and the maturity level also has evolved as well, into the fact that, if you look at 10 years ago, and I think we were talking about that yesterday here, whenever you said, hey, I'm going to hack this, even the Pentagon, for example, that was a taboo one. Like, what are you talking about? You're going to go to jail or something else. Right?
Right.
So now you have the ability to actually not only find the vulnerabilities, but to detect them and report them before the bad guys do, right? And one of the challenges still, of course, is disclosure and everything else. So there's a lot of topics here today that we're going to cover about, disclosure, how to find the vulnerabilities, the tools, the methodologies. And you mentioned Nahamzek. I mean, I was talking to him last night, and yeah, you have to check out that presentation because he's going to show, I don't want to spoil it, but you have to go, it's pretty interesting on the way that he actually is able to map many subdomains. And, he's going to talk about some recent bug bounties that he actually has done that, they're pretty amazing. Big companies.
Yeah, and the way that they approached it, totally new way, and I enjoy that. That's innovation, and that was driving us all, right? Isn't that why we just collaborate on tools? That's why we create stuff. That's why we really release stuff we put things on GitHub and somebody else just takes on and continues and open sources, and then we play around with it. And I think that was drives at least the bounty community, and even I think the red teaming space, where it's really, where you need to super invest time in getting that payload to work once, because you don't want to burn that. So the threat identification guys, the threat hunters, finds it, because we need to idle around and have a good time, just like any kind of attack. A cyber criminal would do. So you spend a lot of time on that. And so innovation is always ongoing in this space, and that's why I love it, because you can never ever get fully trained. It's every morning you wake up like, noob today again. All right, cool. Let's start over. That's how it is, because there's going to be some new CV dropping that you need to reverse. So there's going to be some new device coming out, or some new technique or a new framework. So yeah, I love it. Never stops.
And to highlight a few other, I guess, talks here today, I'm going to go in a break in a few minutes to get started. We have Travis Palmer, for example. He's actually going to go over how he has developed a way to crack passwords, beyond 15 characters under $500. So typically you need big infrastructures, tons of GPUs and everything else. So he's going to talk about techniques on how to actually do that. So I'm looking forward to that. Of course, Hutch is actually going to go over bypassing multi-factor authentication, which is actually what we recommend nowadays to increase the security posture in your environment, right? We're going to go over a bunch of different techniques. Like Evan is going to go over how to take SSH to the next level, to actually do backdoors and do many other things. I like the title of 50 Shades of Pseudo Abuse. So I'm looking forward to that one just because of the title. No, but even though Tyler is actually going to go over and present a lot about his experiences and some tools that he's actually been developing and taking advantage of. So again, and by the way, we're starting nonstop from now on. So yesterday we took a couple of hours of a break of presentations, but we're going to be streaming different presentations. And as a matter of fact, they are not reruns. These are new presentations over and over and over, all the way to Sunday until the closing ceremony. So again, you're here for a ride, and thank you again for your support. And I think we're going to take a few minutes for a break. But any last remarks, Stock, Ron, ceddoXx?
Eat, take a shower, and hydrate. As any DEFCON, do those.
3 hours of sleep. Yep. 2 meals.
Yeah, try to sleep.
2 meals and 1 shower.
Yes. You still need to shower even though you're at home.
Right. Nobody wants to smell you at home. But I do want to mention one thing in closing, and we talked about this yesterday. If you're new to DEFCON, it's very overwhelming. My suggestion is find a village that associates with the technology that you're most interested in, and hang out in that village. Get to learn to who the leaders are, get to know them. Offers to volunteer, help them out. Every village needs help. The Red Team Village, you know what we do. We are an offensive team. There's also the Blue Team Village. They're great friends of ours. You would think there'd be some rivalry or something, but they're good friends of ours. Look at the Blue Team Village. They have a lot of cool stuff going on as well. And I just want to thank all of our speakers. Like Omar mentioned, 85 hours of nonstop briefings. And I want to thank our volunteers and all our teammates for helping us put this together. We would not be able to do it without the community, not without people like Stoke helping us bring awareness to what's going on. So thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. And we'll go on a break. We'll be back in a few minutes.